And we're live. Hello, everyone. Hi, Artem. How are you doing?
Okay, I'm good. Tuesday, and we're back again.
Yeah, I wanted to say long time no see, but yeah, it's definitely the opposite. Hello, everybody who's watching us on YouTube, LinkedIn, X, or Telegram. Please let us know by giving us reactions, so sending some of the messages to our chat as usual. You can also always tell us where you're joining us from and for how long have you been using 3Commas. And this is very crucial, so we just understand your experience with our tools and that we can give you the most value, the most educational content as possible. So please do not hesitate to let us know. The topic of our today's webinar is use cases, tips, and tactics. And I think it's a very interesting topic for today because we've never talked about this before. We talked like here and there, but we never had like a full whole webinar only dedicated to 3Commas use cases. And that's why we decided to have it now. Yeah. And yeah, guys, just let's wait for a couple of minutes. So everybody who wants to join us will join us. In case you missed our previous webinar, you can go to our YouTube page and rewatch it either in full, or we also created a short highlights video for you where we give you the essential information in only 5-minute video. So if you don't have a lot of time, that's gonna be a good way to catch up with what we talked about on our last webinar. Okay, we are waiting for people to join us. Artem, how is the weather where you are right now?
Oh, kind of moody today. We got a sand from Sahara.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
yeah. So it all dusty and kind of orange.
Oh, okay. Wow. I cannot imagine myself to be living in such a climate, but do you have to wear like a mask when you go out?
No, no, it's not like that. But last year, I think it was all over in the news across the world because in Greece, in Athens, it was like the whole sky was orange. It was pretty beautiful, but none of the people wear any mask. No.
Oh, okay. Okay. But I just thought maybe just for protection. Um, Okay. Yes. Hi, people. Hi, Vasia Pupkin. How Enigma of Time. Yes, guys, please let us know where you're joining us from and for how long have you been using 3Commas and whether you are participating in our Easter campaign as well. Yeah, guys, we're waiting for a couple of more minutes. Right now, you can scan the QR code that you see on the screen and make sure you catch and grab our Easter offer because this is the last major campaign like that we're going to have in a while. So make sure you benefit from it. And again, this webinar is a part of our Easter campaign, and that's a unique chance for you to get to know 3Commas better and our use cases as well. So, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about 3 popular trading scenarios and how to automate them on 3Commas. Artem will also give us some context on feature pairing examples, and we will also talk a little bit about performance tips, settings to watch, and bot monitoring, and we will also take some time to answer your questions. Okay, Toronto, Canada here. I've been using since 2019. Wow, that's a long record. We hope you enjoy using 3Commas. Okay, Tom, do you think we are ready to start?
Yes, so yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let's dive right into it and let's talk a little bit about 3 most popular trading scenarios and how to automate them on 3Commas.
Yeah, so first thing first, as we started the previous time, just a little disclaimer because all I'm gonna explain today is just my view on the market and how I traded with 3Commas products, so no financial advice, and just some strategies that you can work on. Let's share the screen. And one more thing here is we're talking about 3 scenarios, but as I'm a trend trader, for me, it's kind of like one big scenario that you can divide into three small pieces that you want to trade with different combinations of 3Commas instruments. So I'll start by just showing the chart. I'm sure that everyone who is trading at the moment already knows that the crypto is in downtrend for the last 3 months. And what we can see in the chart, how it would play it out, we can see that we have some tops here. So we can call it actually a double top, and this is a daily chart. So for me, what it means is that seeing this double top, I would think of working from the short position, from the short trading. And how I would do it, dividing into scenarios, is that I would love to have a main entry point, which I could use with DCA kind of a long term, right? So I would assume that this is my second double top, and I will be looking for short trades here. So one scenario is just set up a short bot here, entering base order short and having a pretty wide take profit. Just let it go and wait. But what interesting here, dividing into scenarios, and again, remember that this is a daily time frame, but we can look exactly for the same scenarios, for the same situations on short-term time frames. So returning back here, it's pretty obvious that the market goes in cycles, and usually after sharp drops, you can expect some sideways movement while the market and participants will decide if the trend will continue or it will reverse. So what you can do as a second scenario, you can look for the small circle, which I highlighted to just show the sideways situation. How you can play this out with 3Commas instrument, I would see two options, for example. First one is you can, so here you set up a first long-term DCA bot, and on each of these places where I see sideways market, you can have two options. One is create another DCA bot that will just average your position, so DCA kind of itself is a dollar cost averaging strategy, but you can use DCAs on a small scale, combining with a longer scale to average kind of DCA that will average DCA. So the idea here is that you see that there is a sideways market, but you don't know how long will it continue and if it will continue. So DCA will help you enter the market at some point here, average it here, and if it will go, you will simply go with the flow, allowing you to maximize your position. But what is more interesting for me, and I think for our users, because they can use more instruments of 3Commas, is and what I actually do. When you are entering DCA here, for example, you can use this sideways market. I think everyone who was with us on previous webinars already understand it with a great trading bot. So if you take the ruler and check each of the places here, you can see 13%, right? Sideways market, 15, etc. So if you check, it would be from 13 somewhere to 18 or 20%. So this is actually your range for grid bot. So how I trade it, I set up a DCA bot, and whenever so I go with the trend, and whenever I see a sideways market, I'm simply setting up a grid bot to trade while DCA in trend position. All right. We will go next to the DCA bot, and I will show the configuration, and I will show the backtest with different averaging combinations. But one more point here, and what I really want our users to consider is that you can also do this with combination of DCA and smart trade. So later, when we will come back to the backtest, we will see that If, for example, here on the 17 of deck, you would go short with DCA bot, that means that your base order will fill here, and then you will simply go with the trend, but you will never average the position because DCA is created to average down your position. But what I really want as a more professional trader is average my position when it goes into profit, so I can exploit all the capital that is available for me to trade. So with smart trade, I can do that, or you can do that also with ad funds. Uh, Again, those who are trading with us know how to do it, but with smart trade, what's good is that you can automate it and set up a conditional order. So for example, you short it here with DCA, and then you see that it falls here, and you understand that, all right, there is a range typically that we have seen with a ruler, and if the price goes beyond this range, you can set up a smart trade that will short additionally for you. All right. I think that it's good to share another screen right now and check the DCA bot setup. So I'm creating the DCA on the same pair that we just seen. It's ETH. And as you can see, what I'm trying to do, so this is a short DCA bot. My trade sale condition is just open immediately. And what's interesting in averaging orders is that I'm trying to cover this 18%, which we've seen with a ruler. So I'm configuring this combination just to cover this 18%. Okay, the size of the average order is just, you figure it out based on your available capital and based on how you consider the risk. So my base order here, just for the backtest, is 500, and I'm trying to add additional a little bit more. So what's interesting here is 2 points. First is we will check this how it works with the backtest. I mean, without averaging condition, because my idea here is that whenever I'm going short, I want the averaging to be to cover this 18%. I don't care about the signals. I just want to be sure that I will average while the position goes against me for 18%. And then we will do the same, but with conditions, and see how the results will differ. The results actually will differ quite a lot. I also set up take profit, and take profit here is 10%. I cannot say that this is something that I, strictly calculated. As we discussed previously, you can do it based on average true range, and I think we will cover this on next webinar where we will be discussing the backtest. But this 10% I figure out just through the backtesting. And this bot, since we are trading with trend and we're trying to cover the pullbacks, is going without stop losses. So let's see the backtest. I actually already done it, so we will not wait, and I will just show the results. You can see that it is plus 92%, pretty great result. And great. What I want to show here, so first thing first is statistics. We have this results with maximum flux floating drawdown, sorry, which is twice as low as the P&L, which is actually pretty good considering the ratio. Pretty small fees. And what interesting for me here is how we actually collected the position. By collecting the position, I mean, did we have enough averaging orders? Did we have all 3 averaging orders in every trade, or we had just 1 or none at all? So what I'm looking at here is that, for example, at this trade, it was just base order and then take profit. meaning that I didn't trade to my maximum potential because so take profit was 10%, and before it reached take profit, I could do something more. I could, for example, use smart trade to add into my running position, because it's always easier psychologically to add to your profitable position to to have leverage on your capital rather than adding to your bad positions. So I will not go trade by trade here. I can see that with this setup, we have at least 2 averaging orders, which I'm pretty fine with. And let's see what would it be if we use an averaging condition. So averaging condition, I tried with RSI, but I don't really trade it much, so I will switch to moving average. But with RSI, if we're trading trend strategies, and this is what we're doing here. This is also fine for those of you who just prefer RSI. So moving average for me, as usual, 2050. I'm interested in crossing down, and since we're looking for some small reversals where I want to average, I will set up here 15 minutes. With DCA, I can also scale to 5 minutes, but let's see how it goes here. Hope through this webinar, everyone now understood, while in previous sessions, I was highlighting this details section a lot and how you can use it. Because it's, for me, pretty powerful tool. All right, almost ready. So you can see it's almost twice slow, the profit. And let's see actually why it happened. Okay, I can see it just from the chart that we didn't have a lot of trades. We had much, and looking through the volume and through the fees, we have much lower trades than it was previously. We still have a nice ratio between P&L and MFD, but let's go to the logs, and we will see that on every trade, on every trade we don't have, okay, we have one averaging, but on 90% of trades, we don't have any averaging orders. So what it means for me that I'm not using my capital enough to trade to exploit it to the maximum potential. Yeah, so what again, when you see this situation, it means, for me at least, that you can either think of how you want to average your position with our tools, with conditions, or simply without conditions, just by covering the percentage, or as I told multiple times already, you can use smart trades or add funds. All right. I think we're good. Yeah, I know we can move forward, because I think I covered the scenarios. I covered how we can do it with 3Commas tools. I even showed the configuration, the backtest. Yeah, we're ready for Q&A.
Okay, thank you so much, Artem, for this comprehensive walkthrough. Guys, if you have any questions, please make sure you leave them in the chat so we can answer them in real life. This is a very unique opportunity for you to get answers to the most burning questions you had all the time while using or considering to use 3Commas. Wherever you're watching us, please write down the comments. We will see them everywhere on YouTube, LinkedIn, X, and Telegram. So just let's wait for a couple of minutes and we will see what questions, whichever questions people have. I think this time we were pretty quick with the main part, but it's also good. And guys, for the next webinar, we're going to have special incentives, not just only only the Easter offers. Just we will announce the contest during our next webinar, so please make sure you mark your calendars on Friday. So we're waiting for a couple of more minutes, and if you guys have no questions, we will wrap it up. But if I were you, I would ask whatever questions. Yeah, I had. Yeah, 30 more seconds, and if there are no more questions, we will wrap it up. Okay, can you give us more example to get on the go, please? Tarek Nimri asks.
I'm not sure what means to get on the go. Are you meaning to show, a configuration as a preset? If yes, then we're working on it. We're trying to tie, presets to market cycles, and there will be some in recent future. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys. And if you missed our previous webinars on how to get started with 3Commas, make sure you watch them on YouTube. We have everything recorded and saved, and we also have 5-minute long highlights from each of the webinar. Okay, the LinkedIn user asks, is it possible for a DCA trade that has, for example, 5% of profit taken as setting to extend this during an active trade to 10% or even 20%?
Yeah, we have an option to edit the bots. Yeah, so you can do this. Yeah. I can see another question regarding the bots, how they differ from the exchanges.
Yeah, translating it from Russian. Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, the idea here with us is that if you have multiple accounts on different exchanges, you can use 3Commas to trade all of them within 3Commas, and you will not need to go to all of the exchanges separately to set up the bots. But then again, our bots have more sophisticated configurations for the bots. Yeah, you can configure more settings that exchanges give you. And so fairly recently, we set up a backtest, which is again much more sophisticated than exchanges currently have.
Okay, thank you very much for covering this question. I think it's not the first time we're getting this question, right? We already had this on our previous webinars. Okay, guys, 30 more minutes for more questions. And yeah, just let us know whatever questions you have. Thirty more seconds. Okay, what would be a good start for new guys? Because I don't make such big profits to cover the costs of 3Commas.
Well, we have the word just slipped from my mind. Paper trade for 3Commas. So I would advise first you to, if you don't want to, if you're new to 3Commas and you're also new to trading, I would advise to try with paper trade first and combine different, see different configurations, see how it works for you, see different market cycles. When you will move to the subscription plan, the one you can go with backtest and check it. And if you feel confident, then just start with small amounts and grow bigger. That's the only way.
Yep. And guys, you can watch our previous webinars where we cover step-by-step how to get started with 3Commas in terms of using the tools and the feature that we have. And we go over all of the bots and we tell you under which conditions the bot is the best to use, etc., etc. Okay, let's just wait for a little bit more questions. If you guys have them, please make sure you ask them. This is a perfect opportunity for you to talk to the product owner of 3Commas, and he's the one responsible for everything happening on the platform. So he knows everything. Yeah, 30 more seconds again, and yeah, we will see. And tell me about trailing take profit. Vasa Pupkin asks.
What should I tell? I mean, it's a pretty open question. I think we discussed it on previous webinar regarding DCA, and I was covering trailing profit as well as stop losses with trailing stop losses, stop loss breakeven. I think we can try this with combinations next webinar with backtests.
Yeah.
It will be better.
Benedict Klein says, can you place the links to previous webinar in our Discord? Let us ask our community manager to do so. I think you will have them in Discord, but you're watching us on YouTube, so you can go to our YouTube channel, to the tab that's named Live, and then you will be able to see all of the previous webinars. But yeah, we can double send them to Discord. Are you located on Cyprus? Can we come to your office? No, the office of 3Commas is not on Cyprus, and I'm not sure that you can come and visit because this is a private office only for 3Commas. But the 3Commas team is going to be visiting the 2020 token in Dubai. So if you ever want to talk to our team, just go there and talk to the team. And we will also be attending the exclusive VIP event by Bybit, and we will also be giving a speech there. So if you want to see us in real life, come to the events we're participating on. When will the money button appear? Artem, we're all waiting for the money button.
As usual, yeah. Sorry, the money button is just all your experience.
Yeah, you just need to create the button inside you. And you are the only one who can use it. Okay, guys, I think that's it. I would suggest that we wrap it up. Today we had a pretty quick webinar, but I think it was one of the most interesting ones that we had so far. Artem, thank you so much again for coming, taking the time, and explaining all of the use cases. Andrei asks which dates you will be in Dubai. I think it's going to be next week. Just look up the Token 2020 event and you will definitely know the dates. Okay. Thank you everyone for coming today, for watching us, for participating in the conversation and asking the questions. Sorry, 2049, token 2049. Sorry, it was my mistake. Yeah. So thank you everyone, and we'll see you next Friday.